everyone. Welcome back to GOSPEAKLY English Podcast. Oh my goodness, we are so excited to have you here today.
Yes! Hello, hello, amazing listeners. Whether you're listening on your way to work, at home, or maybe during your commute, we're thrilled you're spending time with us.
Exactly. And speaking of commutes, that's actually what we're diving into today. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Sophie, and I'm here to make your English journey fun, practical, and super easy.
And I'm Daniel. I'm here to keep things real, relatable, and, maybe crack a few jokes along the way.
Oh, we definitely need those jokes, Daniel. So today's topic is something every single one of us experiences, like literally every day. We're talking about your daily commute.
Yes, whether you take the bus, hop on a train, or just walk to your destination, we all have a commute story, right?
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Talking about your daily commute in English is such a common conversation starter. People ask you all the time, like, how do you get to work? Or how is your journey today? And sometimes we just freeze up. We don't know what to say beyond, I take the bus.
Exactly, and that's so limiting. I mean, your commute is filled with interesting moments, struggles, funny incidents. There's so much to share.
Right, so today we're going to teach you how to talk about your daily commute like a confident English speaker. We'll cover bus rides, train journeys, walking, everything.
And we'll give you real phrases, vocabulary, examples, the whole package.
Perfect. Now, before we jump in, if you're enjoying this podcast and finding it helpful, we'd absolutely love it if you could hit that like button and subscribe to Go Speakly English.
Yes, please. It really helps us reach more English learners like you. And hey, drop a comment telling us, how do you commute every day? Bus, train, walk? We're super curious.
We read every single comment, I promise. All right, let's get started with part 1.
Okay, Sophie, so let's start simple. Someone asks me, how do you get to work? What's the best way to answer?
Great question. So the most basic structure is I take the plus your mode of transport. For example, I take the bus or I take the train.
Simple enough. What if I walk?
Then you say, I walk to work, or I go on foot. Oh, and if you drive, you can say, I drive to work, or I go by car.
Nice. But Sophie, what if someone wants to give more details? Like, I don't just take any bus, I take a specific route.
Oh, I love that you're thinking ahead. Yes, you can absolutely add details. For example, I take the number 45 bus. Or, I catch the metro from Central Station.
Catch the metro. I like that word. It sounds so natural.
It does. Catch is super common when talking about buses and trains. You can say, I catch the 8 a.m. train, or I usually catch the bus around 7:30.
Got it. So take and catch are both good options. What about if someone asks, how long does it take?
Ah, the duration question. This is important. You answer with, it takes plus the time. For example, it takes about 30 minutes, or it takes around an hour.
What's the difference between about and around here?
Honestly, no real difference. You can use either one. About 30 minutes or around 30 minutes. Both work perfectly.
Love it. Okay, let me try a full answer. I take the number 12 bus, and it takes about 45 minutes to get to work.
Perfect. That's exactly how a native speaker would say it. Now, let's add some flavor. What if your commute isn't always smooth? What if there's traffic, delays, crowds?
Oh man, that's the reality for most of us.
Right? So let's talk about describing those challenges. If there's traffic, you can say, the traffic is terrible in the morning, or I often get stuck in traffic.
Get stuck in traffic. That's such a good phrase.
It is. And if your bus or train is delayed, you say, my train was delayed today, or the bus is running late.
What about when it's super crowded?
Great question. You can say the bus is always packed, or it's so crowded I can barely move.
Packed is like stuffed full of people, right?
Exactly, like sardines in a can. You can also say it's jam-packed for extra emphasis.
I love these expressions. Okay, what if I want to talk about standing versus sitting?
Good one. If you get a seat, you say, I managed to get a seat, or luckily I found a seat. If you have to stand, you say, I had to stand the whole way, or there were no seats available, so I stood.
Managed to get a seat. That sounds like an achievement.
It really is sometimes, especially during rush hour. Oh, and speaking of rush hour, That's another key term. Rush hour is the time when everyone's commuting, usually morning and evening.
So I could say I try to avoid rush hour because it's too crowded.
Perfect! You're getting so good at this, Daniel.
Thanks. Okay, let's talk about walking. What if someone walks to work or school?
Ah, yes, the walkers. If you walk, you can say, I walk to work every day. Or, it's a 20-minute walk from my house.
What if the walk is nice, like scenic or peaceful?
Oh, I love that. You can say, I enjoy the walk because it's peaceful, or it's a nice walk through the park.
And if it's not so nice, like what if it's too hot or rainy?
Then you say, the walk is exhausting in summer, or I hate walking when it rains. You can also say, I get drenched if I forget my umbrella.
Drenched, that means completely wet, right?
Yes, soaking wet. It's a strong word, so it shows you're really affected by the rain.
Got it. Okay, Sophie, let's do a quick practice. I'll describe my commute, and you tell me if it sounds natural.
I'm ready.
I take the metro every morning. It takes around 40 minutes, but it's usually packed during rush hour. Sometimes I manage to get a seat, but most days I have to stand. The train is often delayed, so I leave home a bit early just in case.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing. You used so many phrases we just learned. Packed, rush hour, managed to get a seat, delayed, all perfect.
Thank you. I'm feeling confident now.
You should. And listeners, I hope you're feeling confident too. Let's take everything we've learned so far and add even more detail in part 2.
All right, part 2. This is where things get interesting, right, Sophie?
Absolutely. In part 1, we covered the basics. Now let's make your commute stories come alive with details, emotions, and real-life situations.
I love it. So where do we start?
Let's start with describing the atmosphere on your commute. Because, every commute has a vibe. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's chaotic.
True, like some mornings the bus is quiet and everyone's half asleep.
Exactly. So you could say, the bus is usually quiet in the morning. Everyone's still waking up. Or people are mostly on their phones or reading.
What if it's the opposite, like noisy and chaotic?
Then you say, it's really noisy and chaotic, or everyone's rushing and pushing to get on.
Pushing to get on. That's so accurate for crowded stations.
Right? You can also say there's always a scramble for seats, or people crowd around the doors before the train even stops.
Scramble. I like that word. It means everyone's trying to get something quickly, right?
Yes, it shows that urgency and competition. Now let's talk about the people you encounter during your commute.
Oh, this is fun because you see all kinds of people, right?
Definitely. You might see students with heavy backpacks, office workers in suits, or parents with young children.
What about street vendors or musicians?
Great examples. You could say, sometimes there are street musicians playing guitar on the platform, or vendors sell snacks and drinks at the bus stop.
I love when there's live music. It makes the commute more enjoyable.
Same! You could say, I enjoy listening to the street musicians. It brightens my morning.
Brightens my morning. Such a nice expression.
It really is. Now let's talk about the not-so-fun parts, the annoyances and frustrations.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. So what annoys you during your commute, Daniel?
Probably when people block the doors and don't move inside the train.
Oh, that's so relatable. You could say, it's frustrating when people block the doors, or I wish people would move to the center instead of crowding near the doors.
Yes, or when someone's music is so loud you can hear it through their headphones.
Classic. You could say, someone's music was so loud I could hear every word. Or, I don't understand why people play music without headphones.
Right? It's so inconsiderate.
Another common annoyance, people eating smelly food on public transport.
No, that's the worst.
You could say, someone was eating something really smelly and it made the whole bus uncomfortable. Or, I try not to eat on the bus out of respect for others.
Good point. What about when someone takes up 2 seats with their bag?
Ugh, yes. You could say, it's annoying when people put their bags on the seat during rush hour. Or, I had to ask someone to move their bag so I could sit.
Had to ask. That takes courage sometimes.
It does, but it's your right to ask politely. You could say, excuse me, is this seat taken? Or, do you mind moving your bag?
Perfect. Okay, let's switch gears. What about the good moments during commutes?
Oh, I love this because there are definitely nice moments too, like when someone offers you your seat.
That's so kind. How do you describe that?
You could say, a kind person offered me their seat today. Or, I was really tired and someone noticed and gave me their seat. It made my day.
Made my day. Such a warm phrase.
It is. You can also talk about helping others, like, I offered my seat to an elderly woman, or I helped someone carry their stroller up the stairs.
Those small acts of kindness really matter.
They do. You could also say, I saw someone helping a blind person cross the platform. It was really touching.
Touching. That means it moved you emotionally, right?
Exactly. It affected your heart. Now let's talk about weather and how it impacts your commute.
Oh, yes, because weather changes everything.
Totally. In summer, you might say, oh, it's so hot and stuffy on the bus, or I'm always sweating by the time I reach work.
Stuffy. That means no fresh air, right?
Yes, like the air is thick and uncomfortable. In winter, you could say, it's freezing at the bus stop, or I have to bundle up before leaving the house.
Bundle up. That means wear lots of layers.
Exactly. And during the rainy season, you might say, I got completely soaked waiting for the bus, or the roads are flooded, so the traffic is even worse than usual.
What about foggy mornings?
Good one. You could say, the fog was so thick this morning, the train was delayed, or visibility was really low, so everyone was driving slowly.
These details make the story so much more interesting.
Right? Now let's talk about your routine and preferences. Like, do you have a favorite spot on the bus or train?
Oh, I do. I always try to sit near the window.
Perfect. You could say, I prefer sitting by the window so I can look outside. Or, the window seat is my favorite because it's more comfortable.
What if you like the aisle seat?
Then you say, I prefer the aisle seat so I can stretch my legs. Or, the aisle seat is easier to get in and out of.
What about people who like standing near the door?
You could say, I stand near the door so I can get off quickly at my stop. Or, I don't want to push through the crowd, so I stay near the exit.
Smart. Okay, what about timing? Like if you're always late or always early?
Great question. If you're punctual, you say, I always leave home at the same time. Or, I like to catch the 7:15 train so I'm never late.
And if you're running late?
Then you say, I overslept today and had to rush. Or, I barely caught the bus. I was running down the street, haha.
Barely caught, that means just in time, right?
Yes, like you almost missed it, but made it at the last second. You could also say, I missed my train by 30 seconds. So frustrating.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
It really is. Okay, let's talk about technology and commutes. Like, what do you do on your commute?
I usually listen to podcasts, like this one.
Perfect answer. You could say, I listen to podcasts to make the time pass quickly, or I catch up on my favorite shows during my commute.
What about reading?
You could say, I read a book on the train, or I use my commute time to finish a novel.
And if someone just scrolls through their phone?
Then you say, I usually scroll through social media, or I check my emails and messages during the ride.
What about people who sleep?
Yes, you could say, I always doze off on the train, or I use my commute as nap time because I'm so tired.
Doze off. That's such a natural way to say fall asleep.
It is. And you could also say, I almost missed my stop because I fell asleep.
That happens to the best of us.
Totally. Now let's talk about conversations during commutes. Do you chat with strangers?
Sometimes, like if someone asks for directions or help.
Exactly. You could say, a tourist asked me for directions today, or I had a nice conversation with someone about the weather.
What if you prefer not to talk?
Then you say, I usually keep to myself and listen to music, or I'm not much of a morning person, so I don't really chat on the way to work.
Fair enough. All right, Sophie, let's talk about comparing different modes of transport. Like, what if someone asks, why do you take the bus instead of the train?
Good question. You could say the bus is cheaper than the train, or the bus stop is closer to my house.
What if the train is faster?
Then you say, I prefer the train because it's faster, or the train saves me 15 minutes compared to the bus.
And what about walking versus taking transport?
You could say, I walk when the weather's nice, but I take the bus if it's raining. Or walking is healthier, but it takes too long.
Perfect. All right, let's wrap up part 2 with some common mistakes people make when talking about commutes.
Great idea. So, mistake number 1, saying,
I go with bus instead of I go by bus or I take the bus.
Prepositions.
Yes. Always use by when you're talking about the mode, by bus, by train, by car, or use take. I take the bus.
Got it. What's another mistake?
Saying it takes to me 30 minutes instead of it takes me 30 minutes. No to needed.
That's a subtle one.
It is. Another mistake, saying I catch the bus in 7 a.m. instead of I catch the bus at 7 a.m. Use at for specific times.
Prepositions again.
Always. And finally, saying the bus is coming when you mean the bus is about to arrive or the bus is here. Coming is okay, but native speakers often say the bus is pulling up or here comes the bus.
Pulling up. I love that.
Me too. All right, Daniel, I think we've covered so much today.
We really have. I feel like our listeners are ready to talk about their commutes like pros now.
So to wrap things up, we talked about the basics of describing your commute, the vocabulary you need, how to add details and emotions, and even some common mistakes to avoid.
And remember, your commute is part of your daily life, so being able to talk about it confidently in English is super important.
Exactly. Now, here's a little homework challenge for you. Go ahead and write down 3 sentences about your daily commute using the phrases we taught today. Then say them out loud.
Yes, practice makes perfect. And if you're feeling brave, share your sentences in the comments below. We'd love to read them.
We really would. Okay, before we go, if you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that like button, subscribe to GOSPEAKLY English Podcast, and share this with anyone who's learning English.
And don't forget, we upload new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode.
Absolutely. We have so many exciting topics coming up, and we can't wait to share them with you.
All right, everyone. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep speaking English confidently.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!